here's where I've gotten so far. I just got through putting these dial cords on. You can look up the owner's or the service manual, and it'll give you step-by-step directions on how to do this. I followed the directions for the band spread, but on the the main dial, what I did is a little backwards. I started with it fully clockwise, and I went from there. I think the main thing is you have to have a couple of turns around the this pulley or shaft, and as you can see, I don't have quite as much spring tension as I should. I am not very good at restringing these things. This is my first time, so it was quite a hassle. Let's see. I put this new capacitor in, and what I'm going to do, see, I drilled out the rivet for this terminal here and put an 832 half-inch screw and nut, but the clamp that came with this is a little bit too big, so I'm going to have to re-drill the hole so it fits tighter, and then I'll put another nut on there. The cord, you know what, I didn't put one of those strain reliefs there because as you can see, the metal is like rolled and it's got a nice smooth round opening there, so I just tied it. Now, as far as the safety goes, what I did, I have a polarized plug here, and as you might know, where is it? Where's my plug? The wider side is the neutral. So I, did a continuity check, and what I did was, there's another terminal on this tube socket. Well, let me get a better view here. And what I did was I tied the neutral right to the ground, and I left the other one, the other side, the hot, going to this other terminal on the tube, which I'm pretty sure is unused. I don't know what number it is, but I'm sure if you looked it up, it would be unused, because they just use it as a junction to tie this other wire that goes to the switch. And I replaced this volume and switch control, because after I sprayed it, it was just it was turning all crusty, and here it is here, and maybe it was nothing, but it didn't feel right, and I didn't like that shaft. It didn't look stock, so I went and replaced it. Anyway, as I was saying, so it goes to the switch. I added another wire so that because before it went from the switch and then straight to ground, but I took the ground off the one side of the switch and added a wire so that it comes back to where the AC cord used to go. So the chassis, this chassis right here, is always on neutral ground, and the hot is switched. So now I'm not saying if you do that, it's going to be perfectly safe. You should be good if your house is wired right and your the left side of your outlet is actually neutral. It's safer, but these type of radios are they're just like widow makers. They're dangerous. I guess they didn't, think it was all that hazardous. I don't know, but whatever you do, don't necessarily follow my suggestion here, because you're doing all of this at your own risk. The 110 or the rectified voltage that you get out of here is enough to kill a person. So you want to use extreme caution at all times. I think the only way to make this thing really purely safe is to install a isolation transformer in there. But me personally, I'm not going to do that. I need to go through. I'm going to go through and check the resistance on these resistors and see how far out of tolerance they are. If they're really out of spec, then I'll change them. But pretty anxious to plug this in and fire it up and see what it does. So as soon as I get my speaker in, my new speaker, hopefully it fits. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and install it and see what this thing does. This doohickey here, it's got 1, 2, 6. It's got 6 legs on it. It's actually 3 capacitors in one. And I don't know if you remember on my first video, I said I got some extra capacitors here. Well, this is 3 capacitors in one, and those 2 extra capacitors, they actually replace part of this, but not all of it. These are disc capacitors. They don't generally fail, but they can fail and become leaky, and that's not good when they become leaky and they don't block that DC, because it's hard on the tubes. If you're getting like a too positive a voltage on your grid or your screen, and that tube starts drawing too much current, and it just ruins. It distorts the signal, and it's hard on the tubes. It'll just kill them. This headphone jack, I can't use it. I'm not going to use it because the output of the speaker transformer doesn't go straight to ground, and as you know, the ring, one part of the 1/4-inch plug is, I'm pretty sure it's grounded. I should check before I say anything, but I'm pretty sure it goes to ground. It's got to. Yeah, because it plugs in here, and so I can't use this because it would ground out the circuit, and I'm not going to try to do anything to isolate it. I'm just going to leave it there. So until I get my speaker, hopefully pretty soon, that's going to be it.